Welcome back. Jim along with the Buckeye Boy from the Bozarth Miller Chevrolet Buick Studios, the most trusted name in automobiles. In our Western Slope High School football showdown, we have the 2012 state champion Cedar Ridge Bruins. We heard from Brandon Mulholland. Now we talk with the man who was the coach of the state runner-up in 4A in 1991, Larry Newlin. Coach of the Montrose Indians when he took them to back-to-back state title games. Larry, I appreciate it. How you doing today?
I'm good, Jim. How are you this morning?
Doing fine. How are things in Montrose today for you?
Oh, not bad. A little windy, so just getting ready to go out and battle the wind.
Feel like we're living in Wyoming, right, Larry?
Exactly, yeah. I'm ready for the wind to be done.
Oh, no doubt about that. Well, let's talk about your 91 team because you had a really great run there in the early 90s. 1990-91, you took your team to back-to-back state title games. Didn't win either time, unfortunately, but you had some really talented players during that stretch.
Yeah, we were really blessed those couple of years in 90 and 91 with some really good kids. We're blessed to have the Bandman family move to Montrose with Kimo, our running back, in 1990, and then his brother Darren in 1991. But we were also blessed with some very talented quarterbacks, and Sean Pitts in 90, followed up by Dirk Johnson in 91. So, you know, it was really a great combination of just some good athletes, but you know, really just a group of kids that committed to work really, really hard. We came in the 90s with something that wasn't heard of in the Western Slope much, if at all, and that was we came in with a 2-platoon system where we had a defense. We had 22 guys that with 11 starters, 11 backups on defense, and same on offense. And neither, we didn't have anybody going both ways. So that was kind of a new concept, which, in the bigger cities, bigger schools today, that's a given. But back in those days, it was pretty rare.
Larry Newlin, former Montrose Indians coach with us. You mentioned Dirk Johnson, who wanted to play in the NFL, was a punter in the NFL, was with the Eagles, and of course played safety for Northern Colorado, also kicked for them when they won their first national championship as well. That Dirk Johnson, you were lucky. You mentioned Sean Pitts, who played at Mesa later on, but Dirk Johnson, a guy that was a tremendous athlete, one of the best athletes I've ever seen on this side of the hill.
Yeah, he really was. He was very gifted. He did a lot of great things. We ran him at quarterback just because of his ability to not only throw the football, his ability to run was probably his strongest asset. But he went on to the University of Northern Colorado. They turned him into a defensive back, which he came away with 2 national titles and was an All-American there at Northern Colorado. So that just tells you what kind of athlete this kid really was. But the thing the strength of Dirk was not only his gifted ability to run the football and throw the football, but really his competitiveness and his leadership. I mean, he was just one of those special people, which, we've seen around Western Colorado. We've seen a number of special athletes that they just have the ability to rally their teammates around them, make them believe that they can win no matter what, with a never give up attitude. And it was, he was very special in that aspect.
And you lost the state title game at home to Trinidad, 28-24. A really snowy, kind of really bad weather day for that state championship game, Larry, back in 91. Yeah,
unfortunately, our history here in Montrose, when we're able to host a state championship, is we always get the bad weather. We lost to Mullen in our first home that we got to host at home, and it was a blizzard that day. And then we get Trinidad to come in, and we got people out shoveling the snow and early in the morning so we can get that game in. But the field was okay, and what a crazy game. I mean, it was up and down, both teams. As I always pointed out, you have those games where both myself being a defensive coordinator for us and Trinidad's defensive coordinator, it wasn't a fun day for us because both offenses were able to just move up and down the field at will.
Larry Newlin, former coach of the Montrose Indians, joining us. Mentioned Dirk Johnson, Darren Bandman that played for on the offensive side. Just maybe a couple of names, Larry, from that defensive side. You mentioned you're the defensive coordinator along with being the head coach. On that defensive side that were stars for you.
Yeah, I had a kid named Justin Westbrook, played inside, not a very big kid, but a tough kid. We had a young man, His name was John Godby. He's probably one of the smallest linebackers in the Western Slope, but probably one of the toughest one. Had another linebacker named Jimmy Thatcher, who was very talented. We had a small defensive end named his last name was named Gizmo. We called him Gizmo, and he just had speed. And then I had a young, talented sophomore defensive end, Zach Ray, on the other side. But just a group of hardworking kids, a lot of no-name, kids that just went out and asked them to do a job, and they did their job, and that was a fun thing about that defensive team. They played hard, throughout the season. We basically held teams fairly low. Unfortunately gave up. Only lost that year. Gave up, I believe, like 30 points to Grand Junction that year. But other than that, we played a very solid defensive game and dominated through the postseason. A tight game in Canyon City in the semis, but unfortunately, nobody could stop each other in the state championship game.
Hey, Larry, I appreciate the time. Thanks for taking us down memory lane. Hopefully, we'll see you calling some football this fall. Hopefully, it'll be the case for all of us, right?
Yeah, that's just kind of sitting back like everybody else, wondering what's going to happen, and talking with our football staff here and with friends across the state. Everybody's in the same mode. You're just kind of sitting back, and nobody really knows what's going to happen. And hopefully for the young kids that they get to do something. Get out and show their talents somehow. So hope and pray for all that.
Absolutely. Stay healthy. Take care, Larry. Thanks again.
All right, Jim. Have a good day. Thank you.
You too. Take care. Larry Newlin, former Montrose Indians football coach. Cast your vote. Montrose from 91, 2012 Cedar Edge.